So I'm like really excited, honestly. Prime 4 is looking fantastic. I've seen a good bit of gameplay trailers for it, and I'm really excited for it. But so like Prime, like Metroid has kind of like a wonky history, you know. Like some of the games sold really well, like Prime and Dread, but other games like Other M sold extremely poorly. And because of Metroid's sort of rocky history, I was a little bit worried when Prime 4 was initially announced 7 years ago as to what it was going to look like and how, like, it was going to be received by the fan base and by the non-fans alike. But I'm feeling pretty confident right now because Prime 4, the graphics are gorgeous, and there's going to be, it's kind of like going to be like with the Zelda games in the past where it's a dual console release. So it's going to be releasing on the Switch and the Switch 2 at the end of the Switch's lifespan and the beginning of the Switch 2 lifespan. I would hazard to guess that the Switch 2 version will sell more. I want it to sell more because it's kind of a key killer app for the Switch 2 because it's going to be showing off a lot of the enhanced graphical capabilities that the Switch 2 is capable of. And I would love to see those enhancements push Prime 4 beyond where it would be if it were released exclusively on the Switch. So, like, the Switch has great sales, obviously, and a lot of the games still sell like gangbusters on the console. It's one of Nintendo's best-selling consoles ever made, only tailing behind the Nintendo DS as far as sales are concerned. It outsold the Wii by like 50 million units. It's ridiculous. But the Switch 2, because of how successful the Switch 1 was, has a lot to prove. You know, it has a lot of people wondering, is it going to be as big a success as the Switch 1 was? And I'd like to think it will be, especially with Prime 4, but honestly, it's kind of hard to tell at this point. So Prime 4 is going to have enhanced graphics. It's going to be capable of 4K, 60 FPS in docked mode, or 1080p, 120 FPS for performance mode. And I think they said 720p 4K or 720p 120 FPS in handheld, or 1080p 60 FPS in handheld. Either way, I mean, the game looks wonderful. I'm really excited for it. But that's kind of the thing with Metroid. Like, Metroid games often look fantastic. They play fantastically. The only bad Metroid games I could really say to you guys is, I can't say Metroid 2 because Metroid 2 was not bad because Samus Returns is a great game. It didn't sell that much, but it's still a great game. And that's kind of Metroid's curse. Like, you get these fantastic games that are extremely replayable, have this exploration bit down to a T where you could go through different things and explore the different world and all this kind of stuff, and it's great. But the games don't sell very well, and that really bothered me because Prime 4 needs to sell well. Dread sold 3 million units. It's the best-selling Metroid game in the series, outselling even the original Metroid on the NES and Prime on the GameCube. And Prime Remastered sold 1.3 million units, or 1.1 million units, somewhere in there. So clearly the audience is there. And I'm hoping that Prime 4, with these graphical enhancements especially, are going to get newer players into the Metroid universe. Because, like, my girlfriend, for example, like, I got her into Metroid a couple years back. She's played Prime Remastered, Fusion, and Zero Mission, and loved every one of them. And she never was a sci-fi fan. She never liked sci-fi games, outside of maybe Ratchet and Clank when she was a little girl. But that's the thing, that's what Metroid can do. Metroid has this unique gameplay style and graphical settings that can get in newer players and get them involved in the series. I got into Metroid with Prime back in 2009. You know, back at the end of the heyday of the console, or of the franchise at the time. I got in before Other M started. And so because I got in 2009, I was a Metroid fan, a super fan, right when the series went on hiatus. So seeing Samus Returns, Dread, and Prime 4 being successful is just a dream come true to a Metroid fan. Metroid is my second favorite series of all time behind Pokemon. So of course I'm going to be buying whatever Metroid game comes out. The only one I haven't bought is Federation Force, because that's not really a Metroid game. It's Metroid Universe, but not the same thing. But yeah, Metroid Prime 4 has a lot to prove, but there's a lot that can go right for this game. And apparently Switch 1 players, people who buy it on the Switch, can buy the graphically enhanced versions if they buy it on the Switch 2. So my guess is that, like, perhaps the pricing might be a problem. The pricing's probably going to be a big sticking point. Because we already see Switch 2 games being sold at $80. It's a lot of money for a video game, guys. It's a lot of money. That's nearly as much as an N64 costed in 1994. Or whatever year it was released, I can't remember. But yeah, it's the cost is going to be a big thing. It's going to really push units if it's priced competitively. And I think that the enhancements are going to be like a DLC type of thing where you can download it off the eShop or something like that, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Metroid Prime 4 coming to the Switch later, to the Switch and the Switch 2 later this year, probably around October-ish, I'm guessing, right before the holiday season, so you get that big holiday rush. But we'll see what happens, guys. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Once Prime 4 does release, I will be doing a full 100% Let's Play of it on my channel, I can tell you that now. But yeah, those are kind of just my stray thoughts on the matter. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. This has been ZDS, making you fun one video at a time. And I will see you guys in the next video.